Hi, my name is Scott Schang. I run a consumer direct website called findmywayhome.com. And we started tackling the student loan problem in 2015 when the guidelines first changed. The one opportunity that consumers have to actually significantly reduce their debt load is their student loans. And almost nobody knows about this. Not only don't consumers understand this, but most loan officers don't understand that you can right size the consumer's student loan payment program, significantly reduce their student loan payment, and qualify them for tens of thousands of dollars more in purchase price. And that's why loan officers need to be creating these videos, because consumers aren't taking no for an answer. They're going back online, but this time they're avoiding the call center. They're going a little bit deeper. They're looking for somebody that has a video that explains their exact situation. Because the first time they went online, they thought they could push a button, get a mortgage. Now they understand that that's not true. So now they're going to scroll down a little bit further. They're going to go a little bit deeper into YouTube, and they're going to look for somebody that's describing their exact situation. And that's why loan officers need to be creating this content, because they will be found. We're creating a safety net. We're not going to get to them first. We don't have the budget or the savvy, and we don't lie. So we're not going to get the first whack at most of these consumers, but we can build a safety net for when they get turned down and they go back online to actually try to find somebody that knows what the hell they're talking about.
We're good for the loan officer that wants to be found.
Yes.
Obviously, these loan officer, the loan officers who are signing up are the ones that want to be found, right? They're not the ones, they're
They're
obviously
the ones
not.
that are willing to go the extra mile to help consumers that other lenders will turn down.
Yeah,
100%.
and how much of that, Scott, how much do you think LOs need to become that way with the way the market's going to become in the next year?
I think that I think that it's essential to their survival. I think it's an existential crisis. If they are not trying to help consumers that are being turned down by call centers, they're going to just they're going to get absorbed. They're going to lose business. I mean, the only other alternative, you're going to miss out on your consumer direct opportunity. And if you're not doing consumer direct, then you're relying only on past clients and referral partners. And that's not a bad way to go. But when you are doing consumer direct and you're getting the consumer first of all, you're going to get more repeat and referral business because you're helping consumers that were almost always told no before they got to you. So you're the saviors, and they're much more loyal to you, and they're much better evangelists. But even beyond that, if you control the buyer, now you control the referral relationships. So instead of going out and asking real estate agents for business, you have buyers that you're attracting through your consumer direct education strategy, and they're already loyal to you. So no more worrying about your favorite real estate agent giving 3 cards out to, because they think it's a RESPA violation to refer them to one loan officer or whatever the case is. You turn the tables on that entire strategy. You control the buyer, you control the referral relationships. Now they're coming to you.
So I have a question quick, Scott.
Yep.
Is it, and maybe you know the dollars and cents, is it really expensive for loan officers to attempt to do the consumer direct strategy?
It's free.
Well, free on you. I know win the house you love. Kyle's done an amazing job, right? And we get a lot of business from him. But I'm just wondering, it's free, I know, on YouTube. And by the way, we get a lot of business from YouTube, and we don't have tons of subscribers. So I know the
It's
power of
free on
YouTube.
YouTube. It's free to post on your Google My Business page. It's free to post on your website. All you're paying for, if you're paying for anything, I would pay for retargeting. So I would pay for retargeting on YouTube for anybody that sees your YouTube videos. YouTube is still pretty good for targeting. Facebook is a little harder to market to cold audiences with the special housing category. So it's a little bit harder to target people that way. But no, it's free. And actually, so all the conversations that I'm having with people is I'm telling them get aged leads, because you can buy
Get what? Get what? Aged?
aged aged leads. So all of
Where do you
these
get
lead,
that?
there's companies out there that sell them. So you get a lead that's 30 days old, you can choose your criteria, you upload that list of leads into Facebook, and now you have a custom audience of high intent consumers that you know that there's a high probability that they had a bad experience with the call center and they're just looking for a solution. So then that's where you post the videos. So you put the videos on those to those lists, and you use that as your marketing strategy, as opposed to, and if you have somebody on Google AdWords that you trust, then you can target people that are problem aware and maybe solution aware. It's going to cost you more per click, but you know that they're typing in, how do I qualify for a mortgage with student loans?
So what is the cost per click LOs are spending to get in front of these age leads
Oh, age leads. Age
or
leads are,
even targeted leads?
well, if you're doing a cold audience on Facebook, it just it just depends. I mean, you can probably get leads for $5 to $7. Um, if you're getting it cheaper than that, they're probably not good leads. You're probably tricking too much clickbait. Um, but see, Facebook is interruption marketing. So the consumer has no intention of trying to apply for a mortgage. But if on Google, you're probably looking at 20 to $30 per click, because you're getting people that are
More
specific.
targeted.
Well, the consumer is problem and solution aware. So on Facebook, they're neither problem nor solution aware. They don't know they have a problem. They're not on Facebook looking for answers. They're on Facebook looking for cat memes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. No, this is really helpful because it helps me think. Yeah, it just helps me think about what our down the funnel strategy is too, you know?
Yeah.
That's true.
So you go to the people that have multiple consumers, and then I think your product not becomes, because you already do this, but I think that the more that you invest in marketing training and messaging and teaching the loan officers how to tell the story and how to market the product, and you give them those tools and resources and that experience, that knowledge, then that gives them the tools that they need to go out and educate the masses.
So that's what I think we need help. I mean, I have ad copy. I have ad copy right now. I'm gonna prioritize the consumer testimonials because I think that will help with the LO pages, especially. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna I'm gonna prioritize it in terms of film it so we can have it because I think ultimately LOs also want to speak to the consumer, right? I then I think I'm gonna no, you've given me a lot to think about because
Cool.
I wonder, but don't you think, Scott, the problem is like when I go to lenders and I speak to them, they're like, great, if someone comes in my pipeline, I pull their credit, they have this, but you're trying to sell me on an entire marketing program. Like I can barely use my CRM. You know what I mean? Like who's gonna run this ad? Who's gonna do this? Who's gonna do that? You run into that, like where they're like, look, I'm comfortable with the referral business because I'm not gonna be starting to run some Facebook ads or I'm not gonna be making content on YouTube or whatever. Like, how do you get across that pushback? Or is that just like a generational thing where, and I shouldn't say everybody of a specific generation, but that's just gonna be a hard nut to crack. Because the average
No,
age in
that's a
the
hard
lending
nut.
industry is 50 something years old, right?
Um, yeah, there's a lot of that. There's a lot of that, but there's still, there's a lot of us out there trying to lower the barrier of entry into video content marketing. So between the stuff that I'm doing with Find My Way Home and the stuff that I'm doing with Ginger Bell and our mortgage video mastermind groups and Carl White and Jason Frazier, all the stuff that we're doing out there. And I'm working on some stuff right now that's going to make that it just makes it dead simple for loan officers to record really good content that they would be proud of using Canva, StreamYard, and Descript. And I'm going to start pumping out those tutorials right now. Like in the next couple of weeks, I'm working on it right now. I did a presentation for Carl White's group that I texted you and said that somebody brought up LoanSense. So out of a room with a little bit more than 300 people in it, I did a 15-minute presentation on Canva, StreamYard, and Descript on how to create simple, super simple videos. And then I had 13 tutorials, Loom screen shares that showed them exactly how to do it. So I had 15 minutes to give them the high level. This is what you can do. And then I had a QR code for them to get access to the tutorials to see how to do it. And I got 82 people to scan the code. So people want to know how to do it, but there's a perception out there that it's difficult, and it's not a wrong perception, because first you have equipment, then you have editing, then where do you put it, then how do you promote it? Like there's a lot of moving parts to content, but there's a lot of us working on trying to solve that problem.
Yeah, how do you feel comfortable recording? That's the first part. What do you say?
Yeah, no, exactly. What do you say?
Even if you know a lot, even if you know a lot of stuff, like just because you're going to record doesn't mean you know what to say once you're recording and how to say it in a way that captures a summary up front, then goes through the details, right? It's like even a specific way of talking,
That's a video.
And how do you edit it? And then how do you
I'm pushing that out there in the next 2 weeks. You're going to see all that.
Oh, about like how do you come up with a summary, and then how do you talk?
It's not even a summary. It's a tool called Answer the Public. So Answer the Public is a search engine that searches the auto suggestions from Google searches. And 23% of all Google searches click on the auto suggested term once they start typing their keywords. And so that's the hook of your video. The hook is the exact phrase that people are clicking on YouTube or on Google. And then once you click on that on Answer the Public, you click on that and it'll take you to the search engine results page. And directly under the very first result is a section called People Also Ask. And they're one-line questions that are.
Wait, what is this site? What is the site called?
Answerthepublic.com.
Answerthepublic.com. Now I'm going to go to it because I need some more content ideas.
So type into the search bar. You can do up to 2 searches a day for free. So type in student loans, and it's going to give you, or student debt. I would try both. And then it's going to give you an infographic based on all of the what, can, if, when, why questions. And the dark green is the one that gets the most traffic, that the most people are clicking on. So you click on that title, it'll give you the search engine result page, the SERP, and then you'll see the People Also Ask right underneath there. So you've got your hook is the actual search term. And then
it's like the R, why, who, what, which, when, where, will,
so
can,
click on the dark green one. That's a question that you think you could talk about. So look at one of the questions. It's easier sometimes if you click on the list view next to the graphic, you can click on list. And so if you click on any of those, so if you look at those questions and you're like, okay, that's a question that I could probably talk about for 5 minutes. I could totally answer that question. If you click on that, you get the People Also Ask. So you answer the initial question, and then you say, other questions I get around this topic are this. and then you use the exact question that's in the search engine result page, and then you elaborate on that answer. And then you do the next one, the next one. So there's your hook. There, and then take 3 points. Take 3
Wow,
questions and
that's
unpack it.
crazy. I love the alphabetical suggestions too.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, student loans and mortgage is one,
Yeah.
clearly. You knew that.
So if you click on that and then look at the people also ask questions, and then you just make sure that in your video, you grab 3 of those and you say the question and then you answer it.
Wait, so when I went, it actually went to a Google page
Yeah,
that
it's
said
the
Biden.
SERP.
Yeah, Biden makes it easier for student loan borrowers to get blah, 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 blah. Oh, of course, every time I type in student loans and mortgage, the first thing that comes up is a Rocket Mortgage website.
Yeah. Yeah. Now they
And they
spend
give bad information always.
yes, they spend $1 billion a year on marketing.
And on horrible information. They're like,
Horrible
you have to pay
information.
off your student loans down more in order to qualify. I'm like, why are you misinforming people?
Well, then you've got Dave Ramsey, who is out there telling people, don't buy a home. Don't buy a home if you have student debt. Wait until you pay off the student debt before you buy a
Yeah.
house.
And then it's like they're going to be 45 because that's the average payoff.
At the very least, not with the balances I'm seeing, man.
I know. Yeah, the national, you're right, because that's because a lot of people get into 6 figures of debt in their early 30s, you know?
And if they're on an income-based repayment, they'll never pay it off.
Oh my God. Yeah. If they get on, yeah, no, it's a huge problem. But wow, this is a really good site. I have to explore more to get all the functionality you're talking about. But, oh, I see.
I got some cool
Comparisons and
videos.
related.
I'll show you. I've got some really cool strategies. You'll like them. So
Wow, how do you find this site? Answer
Uh,
the public.
yeah, I mean, I've known about it, but I was at a Perry Marshall event and there was a guy that was talking about it and it finally clicked for me. And so this strategy finally clicked for me in a way that I'd never thought about it before.
Wow. Well, you know what's interesting for which, Scott, the most commonly asked question is which student loan plan am I on? Nobody even knows what plan they're on.
How great of a video is that? And
Right?
that's a super high volume search term. And so what you're looking at there is the exact auto-populated search term when the consumer starts typing, it auto-populates and they click enter. So that is the search term. So you use that search term and that's going to rank in the SEO because that's the suggested term.
Yeah. Yeah. No, this is really good. No, I'm gonna
Pretty
leave this
powerful.
up. Thank you for your time, Scott. I'm gonna
Yep.